Repair also works with owner-operators and fleet operators for maintenance, repairs, and they also give free estimates. So give them a call today at 276-870-0989. That's 276-870-0989. M&P Repair proudly supports Gate City Athletics.
Whether you're headed out to the game or if you're just looking for something great to eat, stop by and see the outstanding folks at the Campus Drive-In on Kane Street in Gate City. Campus Drive-In supporting Gate City Athletics for over 60 years, and they have a tremendous selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items, and they're open 7 days a week. Also go in and ask about their new ice cream machine as well. So give them a call for call-in orders at 276-386-3702. Again, that's 276-386-3702.
And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, from an emotionally draining Marion High School again. The final score, Marion 44, Gate City 39. A furious second half comeback, down 24-0 at halftime, came all the way back, took a 36-39 lead. And, of course, the 38 second left, 49-yard bomb from Marion that ended basically the game. Gate City got the ball, had a little bit of opportunities, but things didn't work out there. So we'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes. But, Mr. Carr, take us around Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Tell me how great of pickers we are.
Yes.
Nose pickers, maybe.
We
got some finals to report. It's gone final in Kingsport. Greenville takes care of Sullivan South 62-7. Boone all over Volunteer 62-15. It's a final with Cloudland. There was the spanking on the mountain, 24-0. Currently in the fourth quarter, Sullivan East, Sullivan Central, back and forth. Central with a 2-point lead right now in the fourth quarter, 37-35.
Go Cougs.
Science Hill right now starting to pull away from Hardin Valley. They're up 17-3.
Somebody called it.
Unicoi 35-0 over Unica. Tennessee High starting to open up a little bit over Cocke County. They're up 41-22. Crockett all over Cherokee, 41-3. Elizabethton takes care of Union County early. They're up 48-6. Happy Valley pulling the upset, in my opinion, over Johnson County right now. It's 28-14. And as we expected, Farragut, DB 14. We go to Southwest Virginia. Here's another final. John Battle defeats Wise Central 20-0. Richlands all over Tazewell 34-0. Right now, back and forth. Honeacres beating J.I. Burton 33-30. I need that one. Thomas Walker destroying Hancock County 47-6. We've already mentioned Graham taking care of Lebanon fairly easily, 50-13. That is a final. And Patrick Henry defeats Holston 22-8. We reported earlier Union was all over Lee tonight, 42-7. That one's gone final. And at last report, Abington's beating Virginia High 14-6.
And if you've got scores out there, folks, we'd appreciate if you could pass them along to us, message us. Again, we appreciate everybody that does follow us through all of our social media outlets, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, through our website, and again, listening to us on Spreaker, through our different outlets. We do, again, appreciate the thousands that do. And what do you say about this football game other than a lot of heart, some mistakes, some growing pains, and it's a 5-point loss on the road?
Well, if somebody would have said it would have been a 6-point game, I think we would have taken that at halftime, Joe. But, just to see how great they came back. They came alive. Whether they won or not,
right?
They come alive for once, and they made plays. I mean, my goodness, Reed had over 200 yards tonight, or did he get 200?
Right at 200, unofficially, 18 carries, 198 yards, 4 touchdowns. You saw Sally throw the football, actually threw it short to throw it long. Again, we talked about that all night, or all season. Nobody respected the passing game. Again, Sally unofficially right at almost 200 yards. Of course, most of it aided by that 84-yard touchdown, that 4th and 4, to be able to throw it But again, Marion dared us all night long. That safety had walked up. He was almost a middle linebacker. They jumped on the run. DeAndre made a great move. It was out in the flat and took off. But again, a lot of positives to build on. And of course, like I said, the things that we've got to. I know the last play was a fumble and everything, so it was 9 total fumbles on the night. We lost 2. You can't do that, but again, still yet, what a great ball game we played. I mean, outside of those things.
The miscues in the first half, it just looked like 2 different teams out there from one half to the next, and having the mishandled snaps, having the ball inside the 3-4 yard line, not being able to get a first down and turning the ball over on a touchdown right there. We had opportunities. This long pass was the score at the end, but if we would have possibly not had all those turnovers early in the first half, we would have been up by 14 the way we played in the second half instead of up by 6.
And you talk about, especially because this is playoff time for Gate City. They've got to win to have any hope. The little things, missed extra points. That almost cost Marion the ball game.
Yes, it did.
You talk about those missed extra points. They were cruising with those 2-point plays. They started kicking it when they started feeling. They got up 30-0. They went for they started to kick it. And then we started to battle back. It was 30-7, 30-14. Then they scored. Then we went on that run again. It was 36-14. We then took the lead, 39-36. Hats off. You talk about the interior defense. We talked about Stapleton. We talked about Calhoun. Made some great plays. We stopped the outside run that they had butchered us with in the first half. It's a story of two tales.
And their lineman, you talked about so much in the first half, we wore them down instead of, until we thought that they would wear us down, but Will Moss was cramping up toward the end, and they had Dylan Roberts. Both of these guys are 285, 225. They were spent at the end of the game. I think Gate City was out hustling. Our line was out hustling them at the end of the game, and that was a big factor in the run.
And this is the first game that we played teams that Moss went both ways.
Yes.
You saw the kicker, or the kicker. You saw he's the punter. He's the quarterback. He played some defense. Their quarterback, and
yes.
That's the first time we've seen guys going both ways. So this was a more fairly even game from that standpoint. Again, we dressed 42, they dressed 47. Well played, a lot of heart. I mean, on Marion's side as well. That to make that run, to make that throw, to make that catch. You got to give your hats off to them. But
there were some mistakes on both sides.
Exactly.
You look at it and they would have said, well, gosh, we should have never let Mac get by on 4th down to score that touchdown. Well, we shouldn't have had 4 bobbled snaps for fumbles, all the different things that happened to us. But you could see where we were putting our hands on our hips right toward the end of the first half. But I never would have thought that they would have come out with so much heart in the second half. But all they needed was that one touchdown that really got them fired up. And one touchdown added to another. The onside kicks. Again, we scored 4 touchdowns in a row. 25 points. I think we had 1 extra point, and then we missed a couple of them there as they penetrated got up on the extra points. But still, you can nitpick on a game like this, but we haven't had any games this close this season where we can say, well, if this had happened, that had happened.
And the team, and you have to learn to win. You have to learn to close games out. That's one of the things that you have to do. And of course, this is a Gate City team that was 1-9 last year. They weren't in any competitive games except for the Wise Central, blowout at the end. And again, we started off this year mired in that 6-game losing streak, and so this was the first time, again, we've sort of played from ahead, played from even in the second half, and it's going to be a learning process. There's a lot of good things, again, like you said, to take from this game. And then, of course, you take a look, and there's a lot of things to build on, and a lot of learning moments coming up.
We should come back fired up next week as we travel over to Ben Hur to take on Lehigh.
And, we talked about the Lehigh team that got blasted tonight. That's a rivalry game. That's the old Jonesville and Pennington consolidation. That's a good football team, but
Gate City showed tonight they can be a pretty good football team when they put it together. So,
and we'll know this time next week, or we'll know before the game next week, if there's still an opportunity for the playoffs for Gate City with the win. If they can win out,
you take a look at what happened tonight. If Mr. Carter can steal my pens.
Mr. Carr has his own pen, thank you.
Ridgeview, again, open tonight. They'll stay at number 1. Union with the win tonight, again, knocking off Lehigh, the 8 seed. Grayson County, we don't have a score on. Graham won tonight. Abington won, so Virginia High takes a loss at the 5 spot. Richlands won, so that's the number 6 team that's won. You got John Battle, which won, and you got Lehigh, which lost ahead of us. Of course, Tazewell with the loss. Marion, of course, with the win. Now, we will pick up a little bit because of Marion being a 3-3 team. Our strength of schedule will increase just a tad. But, again, Y Central with the loss and Lebanon with the loss and, of course, us with the loss. Probably won't be able to move anywhere, but again, 4 of the 5 teams out of the playoffs lost. So we didn't lose a lot of ground, but again, we're going to have to win out. We're at 3-7. You take a look at some of these teams that's ahead of us. Richlands is probably going to finish at 5-5 at least. You take a look at a John Battle team that's probably going to finish with 4 wins, probably at 6, 7, and 8 spot. But again, it all starts next week in Lee County, and then of course we come back home after that to play John Battle for senior night, and then we finish the season up with Y Central again that took the loss tonight. So
we play the 7th, 8th, and 11th seeded teams left in the playoffs as it started.
Well, probably Lehigh. So. Well, seen that's another thing which Lehigh with their loss, Tazewell with their loss, Marion will move up. Marion will be probably the number 18, and Lehigh and again Tazewell will still be they'll be out of the playoffs as of next week. Of course, this is a little bit early, but again, we're 0-7 now, so we've got 3 weeks to try to make some noise. There's 4 weeks left in the regular season in the state of Virginia. So, Chris, you've got a couple looks. He's got something on his mind.
Yeah, Chris has got. We're going to turn it over to Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
I don't know if it's Rice P. Lawford scores.
Yes. No, just a couple of new finals have come in.
Tell us Sullivan East won tonight.
That one's still to be determined. Central's got a 2-point lead, though, 37-35. Just gone final down in Knoxville. Hardin Valley falls to Science Hill, 17-3.
Big upset.
Big upset.
Who called it?
Not me.
Not me.
I called it 30-28, but anyway.
I believe I went with the home team again. So much for that theory of mine.
Well, but again, Science Hill up and down all season. Yes. Some weeks they've looked like, they played Farragut tough last week. Of course, then the prior week they got blasted by Daniel Boone, which gave up 400 yards rushing to the Trailblazers.
Well, speaking of Daniel Boone, they've just gone final. They handle Volunteer fairly easily, 62-15. I think that last touchdown by Volunteer was a mercy score. Already announced Greenville Sullivan South's gone final, 62-7 Greenville, and Elizabeth and all over Union County, 48-6. Dobbs Bennett's at least making it respectable. They're trailing Farragut 42-20 right now.
All right.
New finals: East Side 47, Rycove 6.
Missed that one by a touchdown.
All right. Well, let's take a break, and we'll wait on just a few more final scores to come in. We'll let Chris do his final scores for the night. We'll look ahead to next week, and then we will
head back home.
Head back to Kingsport. So it's been a nice evening and a great crowd here. It was great to see Gate City's fans so excited tonight. So again, we'll take a break. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
America's ingenuity in medicine advanced the world. Premier Pharmacy's innovation has changed the profession. At Premier Pharmacy, what we create is personal. For our patients, one size doesn't fit all. So let the grocery stock your food. Let the retail chains print your photos. Let the supercenters sell you shampoo. At Premier Pharmacy, we'll make your medicine. For more information, call 423-245-1022 or visit rxpremier.com.